Hello everybody, my name is SmarmyBiscuit68. Today I'm going to be showing you the best default site setups on Calypso Casino. Okay, the first site we're going to do is Cigar and Pool, and the first operator you're going to want to pick is Cade. Now, before we get into the setup, you should know for each site setup I'm going to show you all the reinforcements and rotates you should be making with the first operator, and then only show you what and where utility goes for the rest of the operators. Now that that's said, let's get into the video. So the first site you're going to want to go is Cigar, and first operator you're going to want to pick is Cade, or really any kind of electrical or something to deny the wall. Reinforcements so we don't have to go over them later. Reinforce this wall. Once you've reinforced the kitchen wall, come over here and reinforce this wall. Make a rotate right here. Put head holes on the left side of this wall to ensure that you get an angle onto the kitchen. Once you do that, come over here and reinforce this pool wall. And finally, reinforce this wall right here. Now, if you want to, next operator you're going to want to play for Cigar is a zombie. Zombie will be doing, you'll impact this right here. It gives you an angle onto bridge. Hallway.
5 seconds and count.
You'll break this wooden shelf. You'll put in a zombie here. Then you can either put a punch hole or I just shoot it out, and now you have an angle on the hallway. Bridge. I don't want to place one right here. Counter. This protects the control of that, and the head holes are there because I put a zombie right here. Now this still enables you to have the angle onto bridge and pool hallway, but what I have seen some people do in the past, here. The next operator you're going to run for Cigar is Smoke, and you're going to play in Tequila with Smoke Shield, and your purpose here is to delay the attackers as much as possible from getting into coffee. Because this is pretty much a power position. In order to really get control of bar, you need to take Tequila. Alright, so the next operator you're going to want to go is Rooney. Area gate right here. I don't know if they're called anything. Going to put one Rooney gate right here. And to help out the smoke, you're going to put one Rooney gate right here. You have barbed wire, so you can help smoke by putting a set of barb down here. Aquarium. She's the one that's making those holes and head holes. You know. The final operator you're going to want to go is Castle.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Now the reason why you want to run Castle is to protect your two site players, Smoke and Rooney. You'll place one Castle here, and this will protect the Smoke. You can place one Castle here, protect the Rooney, play the Aquarium. These two doors, instead of just castling the one, hallway. So you can castle both of these off if you don't want to castle. And that will conclude our setup for Cigar. The next site you're going to want to go is Basement. And the next operator you're going to want to play is any kind of electrical, just like last time. We'll start off with any electrical. Cade, Bandit, Mute, or tube, just like last time.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs
Now let me
protected.
show you real quickly what you need to do. You want to make a rotation on the reinforce this side, reinforce this wall here, come over here and reinforce this wall. And finally, reinforce this wall. Make C4 holes above this. And you can actually get a pretty nice angle for a C4 if you lay down on top of these boxes here. You can also see into locker room, kind of, and even see the plant spot a little bit. But I mean, it's very difficult, of course. I'd suggest making C4 across this. And this is actually where you can get a very nice angle into lockers for servers. Look at that. If you shoot all this off and you scoot close enough without falling off, you might just be able to see the tippity top of their head. And if not, you'll always have the C4 readily available. Make sure to put your case on this wall and trick it when it presents itself. I also suggest reinforcing this wall. And you can decide what to do with this wall. Reason being is if that they do take green, you have an angle for the walk down, so they can't get this wall here. It really threatens them and makes it hard for them to make the play. Alright, so the next operator I suggest running for CCTV on Calypso is Denari. He's really strong on this map, but I'm going to show you some of the Denaris that I use depending on the pushes that the attackers make. So if they really like to push yellow heavy, I put 4 Denaris in this door here. It usually gets grenaded, but you know, it wastes utility. And again, if they're pushing really yellow heavy, I put a shield right here. Locker heavy push. Usually, lockers
Keep an eye out for Op 4 attempting to defuse your
is
bomb.
the byproduct of a green push. You need to get the control of these walls in green to have an effective push onto lockers, and maybe have one guy pinching yellow. This wall is soft, but it has to be repelled into, and it is one of the more accessible ways to get into lockers. And since no one knows the map real well, people probably don't know how to get to these stairs in Janitor. So what I usually do is I place 1 Denari laser on the stairs, and you'll see when coming down that it's very hard to notice, especially when you're scoped in. You won't notice it at all. So I put my shield here, which you'll do anyways, no matter what. And I put 1 here and 1 here. If I ever have to give up lockers, then I'll have a sound cue of their position when I'm playing in circle. Next operator you're going to want to play is Jaeger or Wamai. You're going to place one of your Jaegers right here on the yellow door, and you'll place another one above that one. Now this is only if you don't have someone playing in yellow. The next operator you're going to run for CCTV is Warden. Warden Shield to be specific. Ensures that Warden can delay a longer amount of time from the yellow push. Now Warden's job here is just to play on this shield and delay as much time as possible. And that is all the setup for basement. With that said, we move on to our final site, blackjack and poker. But before we do that, we'll do a quick overview of basement. For this site, I recommend running this site the first chance you get. The very first round, you should play blackjack and poker. Reason being is that this site requires a lot of electrical, and you'll have the most wall denial right here. Also reinforce this.
5 seconds.
Make a rotate here. Reinforce this one. Make holes all across this bar right here. Just make sure to place your cades as need be. I'd suggest putting them on these two walls with the tube and having a bandit additionally for this wall right here. Since there is a lot of walls in this site and it is very easy to get a plant down within blackjack if you don't deny these two walls. Next operator you're going to want to run for blackjack and poker is castle. And the reason why you'll be playing castle is because you'll be doing an extension into roulette, which I'll show you right now. Now if you saw earlier, I left 3 reinforcements out. That's because I wanted to show you the setup with castle and see how it all plays together. Right, jukebox is really annoying. Okay. Now usually I reinforce this one. Depending on which wall they get, you can reinforce either of these walls. However, you won't have enough reinforcements to get all 3, of course. So you're just gonna have to play that depending on which wall they get most commonly and reinforce that wall. Just placing a castle right here. In which the only way to get in now is through aquarium. Next operator you're going to want to play for blackjack and poker is a zombie. Kiba barrier right here, and this will protect the rotate. Then place another Kiba barrier at this end of the blackjack table, and this will allow players a site. You probably want to keep a barrier right here so you don't get shot. Next operator I suggest running is bandit, and just like Cade, you're going to be reinforcing the walls. Next operator you're going to want to run for blackjack and poker is smoke, or really anyone that can deny the entry into vending. Now if you remember, we have the castle here, so the smoke doesn't have to worry about that. He only has to worry about is the aquarium stairs, which he can put a shield here, he could put barb here, it doesn't really matter. But smoke's just going to be contesting this area of map control to try and delay as much time on the attack as possible. The final operator you're going to want to play for blackjack and poker is tube. And if tube's not available, I suggest Malusi or any other kind of entry denial operator. Tube's job. With that being said, this concludes today's video. But before we end it here, here's a quick overview of the last site. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell me what you think of the video, and also tell me if you found the secret LeBron hiding within this tutorial video. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.